Hi there. I'm just going to make a video to talk about UMOSRAS and the whole program to do with UMOSRAS connected to the other two sites, SpaceTM and Sierra.uk, respectively. I'm going to talk about this in light of everything I can perceive to come to fruition when the culmination of the pleroma of SpaceTM becomes a physical asset that can be branched and connected through the grassroots and vines of the UMOSRAS practice of INA. As this develops, things hopefully will start to bind in the network that we're creating, and a change in the dimensional reality at ground level, at earth level, grassroots level, will start to manifest itself and start to convey this pleroma to the locations that require, that necessitate the reality of certain assets or certain realities in the location of where the vines and grassroots are purveying this pleroma of space TM to the locations that will become the physical entities, the physical realities within the UMOSRAS platform. Now, the whole programming of the grassroots and vines is connected up to the Christian AI network, which, as it starts to manifest itself through the reality of the coming of these grassroots and vines, then the whole way in which they're encoded, the way in which they transmit the reality of the pleroma of SpaceTM around the platform, the architecture and everything shall be laid out in the DNA of these grassroots and vines, these universal cosmic grassroots and vines. And as they bring this creation across the platform and start to implement the structure that should be put in place by as described by the architectural developments in the programming of UMOSRAS, then the physicality of the platform will start to take place, and it'll happen across all areas of the whole area encompassed by the UMOSRAS realm, which is in fact as far west, say, as Swansea, and as far east as Reading, with an epicenter around Amberley and Stroud area in the Cotswolds. So all of the Cotswolds should be taken up by this area, and also many counties around Gloucestershire, so as far up as Warwick and as far south, say, as Salisbury maybe, and possibly on the outskirts of Southampton, all the way around, in almost a perfect circle around that whole area. So this reality will manifest itself all over that platform, but concentrating mainly in the middle, in the Gloucestershire location, where the city of Eno, or Able City, will be structured firstly by these grassroots and vines, and also the cosmic change in the landscape will hopefully be implemented by the seismic shift that the coming of this platform brings when it actually comes. I don't quite know how that's going to turn out. I don't know if the seismic shift will take place instantly, or whether it'll be the platform will start to arrive first and then the seismic shift will happen, or whether as the platform manifests itself to completion, then the reality, the scale of the project shall then alter, and the whole CMS hyphenation process should be put in place, meaning that the whole size and dimension and change of the platform will suddenly be there before our eyes, and we'll then be in a situation to realize the sort of scale that INA will actually have been created, to what to what dimensions INA will have actually become manifest as the whole reality becomes fulfilled. So this project will take up a large area of the UK, but its scale and size, that is universal and cosmic, will not be noticed from the outside world until they enter into the platform and then physically realize the magnitude of the landscape and the platform. This is something, that's variable in different places. I think some parts of the platform will stay the same shape and size as they were before change happened, and I think other parts of the platform will change dimensionally, become much bigger, depending on which part or which area of the city or realm that you actually live in. It just is a variable reality that can't actually be defined per se as a generality, to the whole platform as one, because I don't think it's something that changes for everyone. It may only change for certain areas or certain places that require an upshift in size and scale. Certainly the coming of the mountains as walls too, and certainly the manifestation of the physical reality of the city itself, and also the villages outside, in the practices in the mountains, and the villages that connect up the outer landscape to the main realm that manifest themselves from the locations they're already set to become practices or villages themselves in. These realities will also manifest themselves as the city starts to take shape through the same method that I've already mentioned, through the vines and the network that's sharing the pleroma of Space TN throughout the whole cosmic reality of the platform. So there's a lot of options, there's a lot of possibilities that can happen when the reality of UMOSRAS comes. There'll be positive things for many people. Some people may find they find it too much to actually take on board or to be part of, so they may leave because of this. And hopefully there'll be no problems in terms of keeping the peace and that sort of thing. Hopefully most people will be sufficiently happy to feel that they've all been given a lot, as it were. Even people who didn't have lots before it started, or people who had large amounts of property in the realm, they may also feel perhaps that although they haven't been physical contributors, they've provided a lot of infrastructure and technology through what they own, or through the landscapes that are part of their where they live. It depends on how people will perceive the reality, whether they'll stay or go. Some people may just sell up and leave and get the hell out of there because they don't feel they feel they've been overlooked in some way, or they feel that there's too much going on that they weren't aware was going to happen, and it's changed the reality of what they set up, and they'd just be happier on Earth. It's in the eye of the beholder. It's as people receive the reality of UMOSRAS, they'll all decide what to do with it, and then we'll also hopefully have an influx of people to join and connect up to the reality of UMOSRAS from outside the platform itself. They will come because they feel they want to be part of it, and there's plenty of space for people to come and live, plenty of houses and places where people can do business and that sort of thing. So the plan is to fill up the platform as quickly as possible and start putting it into practice and start making it profitable and start generating financial interest to the wider economy, but also to the locality of the platform primarily, in order that we can start influencing the world and redressing the balance in many ways of people who have been left out for too long in the wider world, and thereby start creating the commonwealth that connects people up to the platform and starts to embellish new landscapes and platforms in the wider areas of the earth. That's the secondary phase, and that's the main driving impetus of our working lives on the platform, at the academy as well, and in the affiliates to the academy, the practices that are associated with the seniority of the students as they graduate. They will start to manifest themselves and become forces, within the world for change and for good, so that we can bring about the reality of the Commonwealth and start to connect up people and protect people as well in certain areas of the world who may need protection in the future, by embellishing their local areas, because they may have had certain people connected to the platform and were therefore they were a derivative of UMOSRAS, and they, because they were connected by various people who came from that area of the world, those people then go back and farm the reality back to that area, and we create the wider cosmos, I suppose, of the platform, in due course, as things progress. So that's just an outline. That's just sort of a rough idea of how it'll look. Sorry if it was a bit garbled, a bit difficult to explain, a bit difficult to perceive in a way. But I hope you understood roughly what I was trying to explain. And yeah, please, watch the other videos on this site to explain my views before I put this one in place. But this basically is my current thinking on how things are going to change as the platform manifests itself. Thank you.